Krishna. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gnangana Shalakya Chakshurumritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitmen Ptalesam Rupakadamahyam Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Nivamscha Shri Rupam Skirtam Sahagna. Rugnatam tam sajivam. Satsavadutna Parijana Sita Krista Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padasahagana Lita Shri Vishakan Vitamcha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrisha Panu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakapatarupaschā Kripasnupevachā Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktisiddhānta Swamiti Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktisiddhānta Swamiti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vaskatyadashatarine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vaskatyadashatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Now I'll try again to sing the 3 songs which the Vaishnavas sing in the Kartika month. Of course, the Kartika month is already gone, but it's just so beautiful. They are just so beautiful prayers that I just have the desire to sing them a little bit longer. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes. So I will sing it also today. I will sing these songs also today. It will not take so much time. It is okay. Munindra Vrinda Vandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vatra Pankaje Nikunja Vilasini Vrachendra Vano Nandini Vrajendra Sono Sangate Kadakari Shashikama Ripakataksha Bhajana Ashoka vriksha vari vitana mandapastite Pravala pala Prabhapurangri komala Varabhayas Puratkare Prabhuta Sampadaya Kadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana. So this is Sri Radha Kripa Kataksa Stava Raja, spoken by Lord Shiva in the Urdhvanaya Tantra. These were verses 1 and 2. Amangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bhanchura Brova Savipramam Sasaprama Tritanta Banapati Nirantaram Vasikrita Vratiti Nanda-nandanaastakam Kadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Taditsu Varna Champaka Pradipta Gaura Vigrahe Mukha Prabha Parasta Koti Sharadendu Mandala Vichitra Chitra Sanchara Chakora Shavalachani Kadakari Shashivamam Ripakataksha Bhajana Kadakari Shashivamam Ripakataksha Bhajana Kadakari Shashivamam Ripakataksha Bhajana Madhunvana Diyovane Pramodamana Mandite Priyanuragaramjite Kalavilasa Pandite Ananya Danya Kunjaraja Kamukeli Kovide Kadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Ashesha Hava Bhavati Hira Hara Bhushita Raputa Shata Kumbha Kumbha Kumbhi Kumbha Sustani Prashasta Manda Asya Churna Purna Saukya Sagari Hadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Katakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Kadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana. Ashesha Hava Bhavatira Hira Hara Bhushita Praputa Shata Kumbha Kumbha Kumbhi Kumbha Sustani Prashasta Mandya Asachurna Purna Saukya Sagari Kadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Vrinava Valavari Tarangaranga Dorate Latakralasya Lola Nil Lochanava Lokane La 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 Milan Manogya Moga Mohanashrite Kadakari Shashivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Katakari Shashivama Kripa Kataksa Bhajanam Kadakarisha Shivam Kripa Kataksa Bhajanam Suvarna Marikanchita Trireka Kampu Kantage Trisutra Mangali Guna Triratna Dipti Dipti Salola Nila Kundala Prasuna Gucha Guvida Hadakarisha Shivamam Ripakataksha Bhajanam Kadakarisha Shivamam Kripa Kataksa Bhajanam Kadakarisha Shivamam Kripa Kataksa Bhajanam Nitamba Bimbalamba Man Pushpa Mekala Guna Prashasta Ratna Kikini Kalapa Madhya Manjula Karindra Shunda Dandika Varoha Sava Guruke Hadakarisha Shivama Ripaka Taksha Bhajana Aneka Mantra Nada Manju No Puraravaskalat Samachara Jahamsavams Nikvanati Gurava Vilova Hemavalari Vidambicharu Chankrame Hadakarisha Shivava Ripakataksha Bhajanam Kripa Kadakarisha Shihamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Kadakarisha Shihamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Ananta Koti Vishnu Lok Namra Padma Charsita Himadrija Pulomaja Virinka Javara Prade Apara Sitiriti Dika Satkada Korikana Adakarisha Shihavam Ripakataksha Bhajanam Apara Sitiriti Dika Padangurina Kadakarisha Shivama Ripakataksha Bhajana Makeshwari Kriyeshwari Swadeshwari Sureshwari Triveda Bharatishwari Pramana Shasaneshwari Rameshwari Ksameshwari Pramoda Kananeshwari Vrajeshwari Vrajadipa Shiradike Namostute Iti Mama Buddhastavam Nisamya Bano Nandini Harutu Santa Tanjana Ripakataksha Bhajana Pavita Daiva Sanchita Trirupa Karma Nashanam Pavita Devrajendra Sun Mandala Praveshana Katakarisha Shihava Ripakataksha Bhajana Katakarisha Shihava Ripakataksha Bhajana. The next is Sri Nanda-nandanaastakam, an ancient prayer by an unknown Vaishnava author, glorification of Sri Krishna. Suchari Vaktra Mandala, Sukarna Ratna Kundalam, Suchachitanga Chandanam, Namami Nanda-nandanam, Sutika Netra Pankajam, Sikhi Kanda Murtajam, Ananga Koti Mohanam, Namami Nanda-nandanam, Sunasika Gramatikam, Swachandaranta Bhautikam, Navam Budanga Chikanam, Namami Nanda-nandanam, Karena Venuranjitam, Katikarintra Ganjitam, Dukuva Pita Shobhanam, Namami Nanda-nandanam, Tribhangati Hasum Sundaram Nakadyuti Sudakaram Amularatna Bhushanam Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam 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 Sugandhanga Saurabha Urovirachikastuva Surachrivatsalanjanam Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavasasam Surendra Garvamochanam Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Vrajangana Sunayaka Sada Sukha Pradayaka Jagamana Pralobana Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Shri Nanda-nandanaastakam Paditya Shraddhayanvita Dharit Bhavaptim Dustaram Lobita Tangriyutmaka Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Namami Nanda-nandanaastakam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. And the next one is Sri Damodaraastakam, spoken by Satyavrata Muni and recorded in the Padma Purana by Sri Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa Vedavyasa Vyasadeva. Namamishva Namamishvara Sachitanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodhaviyalokaladavamana Paramristamatyanta Todrutyagavya Ruttantamohonetrayugmamrijatam Karambojayugmen Santam Kanetra Muhusvasakam Patrirekam Gaganta Stitagrevam Damodaram Bhaktivada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Triksvalila Pirananda Kunde Svagosham Nimajanta Akyapayanta Tadeshitagne Shobhaterjitatva Puna Prematasta Satavritivanda Param Deva Mokshana Moksham Vaniva Nachana Vrineha Vareshatapiva Idam Deva Purnata Gopala Satamima Nasya virastam kimaya. Idam te mukam bojama vyaktanila. Vritam kundalaisniga rakta shagupa. Muhushkum bitam bimbarata terame. Manasi virasta alam lakshalava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhupada Kajala Bhimanya Kripa Drasti Vrastya Dina Vatana Grihanisha Magya Medya Kshigrisa Kuvarat Majavada Mujavayadva Tvaya Mochita Bhakti Bhajavritacha Tata Prema Bhakti Swakame Prayacha Namo Shri Home Sri Damodaraastakam Namaste Studane Spura Diptidane Tvate Adorayate Vishwasyadane Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Durya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Durya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Durya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Durya Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaya Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Durya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, I will again read from the books. This is Gaudiya Darsana. Jai, the book Gaudiya Darsana. Jai, His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī. Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. Jai, Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu. Jai, Śrīla Narayana Maharaj. As you all know, this book is translation. In this book, this book is a translation of a lecture of His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākura Prabhupāda. And also there are explanations from Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, and the translation is from Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu. So in this way, the book is from Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, and it is a first translation in English. So I will see where I was the last time, just a moment, where what chapter, what paragraph, what part of the book I had reached the last time. Okay. The kata of Purna Upasana, complete service. Purna Upasana, complete service, is made available only in Srimad Bhagavatam. Only Srimad Bhagavatam has the subject of the Upasana of Bhagavan, service to the independent Purusha, being fully described. Sri Chaitanya Deva has manifested in his own life this realization of Bhagavan. Sri Chaitanya's servants, in the course of preaching this katha of the eternally abiding truth before the eyes of the world, act as if they have become struck with calamity. Truth is such a substance in which untruth does not remain. There can never be duplicity in satya, truth. In this regard, one should reflect upon Dharmaha Prochita Kaitavo Srimad Bhagavatam 112. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 190, 92 and 94, it is also stated. Agyanatameranamakahi kaitava dharma artha kama moksha vancha adisava Agyanatameranamakahi kaitava dharma artha kama moksha vanchadi sabha. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 190. The darkness of ignorance is called Kaitava, self-deception, the way of cheating, which begins with religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Now, Adi Lila 192, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Taramade mokshavancha kaitava pradhana yahaita Krishna bhakti hayantardana. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 192. The foremost process of cheating among these four is the desire to achieve liberation by merging into the Supreme. For this causes the disappearance of loving service to Krishna. And now the next citation is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 194. Krishna Bhakti Rabhadaka Yata Shubha Shubha Karma Sehaka Jivera Gyana Tamodharma. The living entities, Swadharma, intrinsic um, teleology, is Krishna Bhakti and Krishna Prema. The desire for pious activities, sinful activities, and impersonal liberation has entered in the form of the distorted teleology, Victra Swadharma, of the living entities, thus making them engage in actions in the darkness of ignorance. All instructions in pursuance of karma and jnana are simply deception. Therefore, they follow tamodharma, the occupation of ignorance. Both pious and impious activities are obstacles to the rising of prema for Shri Krishna. This karma is the fruit of the living entity's darkness of ignorance. The next time I will continue with the further reading of the book. Jai Shri Prayojana Prabhu. Jai the book Gaudiya Darsana. Jai His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākur Prabhupāda. Jai Narayana Maharaj. So Narayana Maharaj, Śrīla Narayana Maharaj is the guru of Shri Prema Prayojana Prabhu, and His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvati Ṭhākur Prabhupāda is the Diksha Guru of His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhānta of His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Next book, the Gayatri book. Jai the Gayatri book. Jai His Holiness Sachinandana Swami. Jai His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupada, His Diksha Guru. So I just must see where I was the last time. So I think I have reached here Smarana meditation, this part of the chapter 4. But let us see again. Just a moment. So, okay, maybe these different types of inattention, I think maybe I haven't read this. Okay, so, so let us see. Okay, here His Holiness Jahnava Swami, he begins to explain here about the jewel of full attention. The jewel of full attention. In Harinama Chintamani, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura calls inattention the root cause of all offenses against the holy name. These offenses restrict the natural growth of pure devotion. One can chant the Hare Krishna mantra for thousands of years and still not receive the ultimate benefit of pure Krishna consciousness as long as one remains inattentive. I wanted just to say here something, just not to say something, not to comment. No, just I want to say some kind of, how to say, maybe question of mine somehow. Yes, how if one is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and one is trying to continue to be devotee, or maybe even if one is really very good in devotional service, or maybe just trying to remain in Krishna consciousness. Um, there are different types of, how to say, of different levels of service and different levels of devotees and so on. But just I wanted to say, if one is trying to um, continue to be on the path of devotional service to Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna, to Krishna, and how one can know if one have reached, if one has some result or no. How can one know this? Maybe there are some ways, but some ways to know, because it is said here. It is said, one can chant the holy name, the Hare Krishna mantra, for thousands of years and still not receive the ultimate benefit of pure Krishna consciousness, as long as one remains inattentive. But even if, how can one know if one have received the, how one knows that one goes on? how one knows that one successfully goes on Krishna, on the path of Krishna consciousness. How can we know this? Of course, it is written here about thousands of years, so obviously many lifetimes. Yes. So yes, it is true. Of course, it is true what is written here. I don't have any doubt. But in our life, in our short life now, how we can see if we develop, if we go on. Once I asked this question, a devotee, and he said, a Prabhu, and this Prabhu, he said, well, you can see how if you develop further in Krishna consciousness, you can see that you develop further in Krishna consciousness from the way how the other devotees uh, react on you, how the other devotees look at you, because there are something like the other devotees are something like mirrors for us. Yes, the things what we are, we can see in the others. They're like our mirrors. So then, if we develop in the right way in Krishna consciousness, we can see this from the attention of the other devotees to us, he said. So I don't have any doubt that he's right. I'm sure he's right. But still, also there are other. It is more complicated than that, because of course this is true. But additionally, there are also other things, other symptoms which show this development. It's not only the attention of the others to us, of the other devotees to us. There are also additionally other symptoms which show us this. And this is the question: what are these symptoms? If I, for example, say, yes, so many years already I'm trying to be on the path of Krishna consciousness somehow, um, um, and mm, um, and but I don't have any result yet. What to do? I cannot say this because I cannot see if I have developed in the right way or not. I cannot see this. Maybe the others can see it. Maybe, for example, Guru Maharaj, he can see this in his disciples. Maybe he can see, but the disciple herself or himself, how can they see this? This is very complicated question, actually. And there it is a very important question also, because if you are doing something and then you see some success, some small success even, then you are inspired to go on. You think, okay, oh, I'm trying to do this, and somehow there is some success. Oh, I like this actually. Then you have you are inspired to go on. Then, if there is some success there, but how one can see a success in Krishna consciousness? How? This is a complicated thing actually. I don't know how one can see success himself or herself, the devotee. How the devotee can recognize that he or her, that he or she, they go on the right path in Krishna consciousness. How they can see this? Yes, from the way how the other devotees um, look at you. Yes, this is true, but still, it is more complicated than that. There must be more symptoms which one should see herself or himself. For example, um, if a yogi um, has developed on the path of yoga, a yogi, I mean not bhakti yogi, but for example, some kind of hatha yoga, or I don't know, other types of yoga. There are many types of yoga, but there, you know, uh, when you are developing further on your path, then you know, because for example, you can levitate already, something like this. So you see, okay, yes, this success is there. That means that I have achieved some part of the path where I'm going on. This yogi can see, but a bhakti yogi, how he or she can see if one develops further on the path? How? I don't know how. So never mind. Let us continue to read from the book of His Holiness Satchidananda Swami. The same principle applies to Gayatri Japa. One may chant the sacred Gayatri mantras for a long time. But if he is inattentive in his practice, he will not receive the real benefit. Since the principles of maintaining proper attention are the same as when chanting the holy name, and since I have already elaborately presented them in the nectarian ocean of the holy name, I will address them here only briefly, simply to remind and encourage us to endeavor for full attention while chanting both Gayatri and the holy name. Inattention is synonymous with negligence. Therefore, the scriptures have referred to inattention by using the strong word pramada, madness, pramada, madness. If yes, here is a note, just a moment, a note 35 from chapter 2. 35, just a moment. In Padma Purana, while describing the eighth offense against the holy name. If a host invites an important guest and then neglects him, being engaged in some other activity, the host would be considered impolite or even offensive. Why did he invite the guest if he simply plans to ignore him? This example describes the state of our mind when we invite Krishna into our heart by chanting Gayatri or Namajapa and then engage in some other activity, ignoring our guest. To be inattentive while chanting is simply a form of madness. Inattention can be divided into three categories. Audacintia, audacinia, audacinia. Indifference or lack of attraction or enthusiasm. We see this in those who perform their devotional service with apathy, as if caught up in a tasteless daily routine. The best way to overcome audacinia is to take shelter of sadhu sangha, and especially of those who are serious and dedicated chanters. Jadya, laziness or even inertia. The main symptom of laziness is a lack of enthusiasm. How to surchange enthusiasm? As wanderers in the desert filled with oases where they can replenish their water supplies, devotees can similarly renew their enthusiasm by visiting sources of enthusiasm. Associate with the dedicated devotees of Krishna. Strengthen your sadhana. And most importantly, hear of Lord Krishna. Krishna Katha affects the soul like a pilgrimage to a holy place. To avoid or neglect such visits to the wells of enthusiasm is tantamount of spiritual suicide. To cultivate them regularly frees one from spiritual inertia and attracts the soul to Krishna. Number three, inattention. Number three, type type of inattention. Number three, vikshepa, distraction. This refers to paying attention to what is going on around one instead of focusing on the chanting. Vikshepa is best cured by practicing in an environment free from distraction, such as before a sacred tulsi plant, in association with dedicated devotees, or in seclusion. We should become resolved to overcome these mental thieves who steal the fruits of our chanting of both the holy name and the Gayatri mantras. When we are successful in this attempt, we will taste the sweet nectar of the jewel of full attention. The next part has the title Smarana Meditation, and I will continue with that the next time. Jai the Gayatri book, Jai His Holiness Jahnava Swami, Jai His Diksha Guru Maharaj, Abhayacharana Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Jai, the book, a place of sandalwood and roses. Jai Srimati Govinda Dasi. Jai His Holiness, Jai His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda, her Diksha Guru. So I think I have reached here the chapter 13 with the title The First Service. Mukunda comes over and greets Garrett, carrying a large stack of posters. Glad you could make it. It was a nice kirtan and talk. He holds up a poster. We just printed these. What do you think? He asks. The 18 by 20 posters advertise a mantra rock dance with a rather strange picture of the Swami sitting in a blue bubble atop a pink orb. Krishna consciousness comes west. The poster proclaims, along with the Swami Bhaktisiddhānta, Allen Ginsberg, the Grateful Dead, Moby Grape, Big Brother, and the Holding Company. All the big rock bands of the Bay Area. Sunday, the 29th of January, Avalon Ballroom. Avalon Ballroom. Avalon Ballroom, 8 p.m. Wow! Exclaims Garrett. These are all big name bands. This should be really groovy. Yeah, we're expecting about 2,000 people, maybe more. Al will introduce the Swami and then lead a big kirtan. Bands and all. Would you like to take some posters and put them up around town? Mukunda asks. Bonnie and Garrett are delighted at this request. So Bonnie and Garrett, you all know, these are the names of Srimati Govinda Dasi and her husband. At that time, they were friends, and they didn't have spiritual names yet. So these are they too. These are these persons, Bonnie and Garrett. So Bonnie and Garrett are delighted at this request. They get tape and text and go to work decorating every other utility pole on High Street. And then some. It is their first taste of devotional service to Krishna, and they like it. The next morning, Garrett and Bonnie arrive at 6:30 a.m. and knock on the temple door, which is opened sleepily by Hayagriva. The temple storefront is dark, and most of the devotees are still asleep. Swami will be here about 7, says Hayagriva. Make yourself at home. Bonnie and Garrett sit quietly, reading their Srimad Bhagavatams, waiting for the Swami to arrive. At exactly 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., the door opens and the Swami enters the room. He flicks on all the overhead lights and proceeds to the dais. Climbing onto the low platform, he arranges the cushions and quietly offers some prayers. Then he begins to sing the same beautiful hymn as the day before. Samsara Davanao Vidya Loka Dranaya Karunya Ganaganatvam. Eyes closed, his head moving slightly from side to side, he sings slowly in a soft, wavering baritone. Bonnie closes her eyes and once again drinks the nectar of sound into her ears, feeling her heart chakra expand with every syllable. She does not know the meaning of the Sanskrit words, but she feels their power and their sweetness. Pratasa Kalina Ganarnavasya Vandegu Roshi Charanara Vrindam. The Swami is radiant, golden, and glowing as he chants the prayers of his spiritual master, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura, the founder of India's Gaudiya Mata. He is absorbed in the ecstasy of pure devotion. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupāda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gleaming symbols flash in his hands as the tempo quickens. Then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chink, 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 chink. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The room erupts in waves of joyous singing. A few guests begin to dance with eyes closed, swaying, following the lead of the Swami's strong voice. Tambourines jingle, hands clap, and the cymbals ring. The tempo quickens to a jubilant pace and ends with a final reverberating clang of the Swami's cymbals. Then the room becomes quiet and peace permeates the space. The Swami begins to speak. Thank you very much for joining in this chanting and dancing. It is the best method for spiritual realization in this age, this present age, Kali. It is the prescribed method for the age of Kali. Quarrel. And this was taught by Lord Chaitanya, who was Krishna himself, appearing as a devotee to teach the world. This Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, consists of 3 words only, and these words are transcendental sound vibrations. The Swami opens his eyes and looks around the room at his small gathering. A handful of hippies, 3 students from New York, Bonnie and Garrett from Texas, and a curious digger from next door. The diggers are strange sort of hippie volunteers of America. Not a very impressive audience. No matter. The Swami speaks as eloquently as if addressing a room full of dignitaries. Samsarada vanalite loka trnaya karanya gnaganatvam praptasya kalina gunarnavasya vandekuro shri charnara vrindam. The Swami translates. This prayer is to the spiritual master. The meaning of this prayer is the spiritual master is receiving benediction from the ocean of mercy, just as a cloud pours water on a forest fire to extinguish it. The spiritual master delivers the materially afflicted world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. Thus I offer my respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Ha Prabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasorasena Romanchakam Pashu Taranga Bajo Vande Goroshri Charanara Vritam. The spiritual master is always gladdened by the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya, chanting the holy names, dancing in ecstasy, singing, and playing on musical instruments. The spiritual master is always relishing the ecstasy of pure devotion. His body quivers and tears flow from his eyes like waves. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadu, yasya prasadan na gati kutopi, tayanstu vam tasya yashantri sandhyam, vande guroshri charanara vrindam. This prayer by Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura instructs us that one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul. By satisfying the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, becomes satisfied. And without satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the platform of Krishna consciousness. He says, therefore, we should meditate and pray for the mercy of our spiritual master and offer all respectful obeisances unto him 3 times daily. The satisfaction of the spiritual master is such an important thing for our progress in spiritual life. The Swami continues, yes, and even one may not understand this philosophy very nicely. Simply, if he serves the spiritual master very sincerely, then automatically will progress in spiritual life. Bonnie listens attentively. 2 points strike home. She needs to accept a bona fide spiritual master and she needs to serve him. Already she knows the Swami is her spiritual master. See that moment of truth she experienced in the head shop. She feels she already knows him. But there is the formality, the act of accepting the Guru. She wants to know how to do this. And now the next chapter, chapter 14, which has a title Accepting the Guru. There already we can read about this. Jai, a place of sandalwood and roses. Jai Srimati Govinda Dasi. Jai His Divine Grace by Ravinda Srila Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. It is very interesting how it is these explanations about the samsara davna lidiloka. This song, they are a little bit like repetition of the Shikshastaka of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the prayer which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have said in the 16th century. In the Shishi Gurvastaka of Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, one can read about almost the same symptoms of a person, but there it is already said, yes, the symptoms of a pure devotee are in the spiritual master. So the features, the way how a pure devotee is thinking are given in Shri Shikshastaka and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then in Shishi Gurvastaka of Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, the same symptoms are there of a pure devotee, but then it is said, yes, and these are the features of a pure of a of a um, of a spiritual master, of the spiritual master, of the guru. So we see how a disciple should see their Guru Maharaj, a disciple should see the Guru Maharaj as a pure devotee. And for example, we have just heard now the explanations on Shishi Gurvastaka. About the about just a moment. I just want to see again. Yes. Yes. The spiritual master here, Haprabhu Kirtan Nirta Gita, Titra Madhya Madhya Surasena, Romanchakam Pashu Tarangabaju, Madhagoroshi Charanaravitam. The spiritual master is always gladdened by the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya, chanting the holy names, dancing in ecstasy, singing and playing on musical instruments. The spiritual master is always relishing the ecstasy of pure devotion. His body quivers and tears flow from his eyes like waves. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master. And for example, in verse in verse um, 6, for example, in verse 6 of Shikshastaka, it is said, Nanam Galata Shudaraya, Danam Gadgadaru Dagir, Palakarinchitam Vapukada, Tavanama Garhane Bhavishati. Nanam Galata Shudaraya Gadgada, Danam Gadgadaru Dagir, Palakarinchitam Vapukada, Tavanama Garhane Bhavishati. Nanam Galata Shudaraya Вданам Гадгадару Дагира, Плакачита Вапакада, Таванама Гархане Бhavishati. Oh, my Lord, how it will be, when it will be that my voice is choking, all the hairs of my body stand on end in ecstasy. Tears are flowing from my eyes in ecstasy, from the ecstasy of from ecstasy, from tears are flowing from my eyes, and all that out of ecstasy. When I chant your holy names, O Lord, when it will be like this, when I chant your holy name, that I will have these symptoms. This is the verse 6, and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, his Samodna Bhasya, he explains that actually in verse 6 are described the external symptoms, the external features of pure devotion. That means, of course, the external symptoms of real love. And in that case, of real love to Krishna, to Radha and Krishna, to the divine couple Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna. So, and in Shishi Gurvastakam, it is said there that the spiritual master, he has these symptoms. That means this pure devotee, which is described in every verse of Shishi Shikshastaka, is described in Shishi Gurvastaka as the spiritual master. So we see how a disciple should see his or her guru as a pure devotee. Yes. Um, uh, Now, I will not discuss now if every Guru Maharaj is a pure devotee. I will not discuss this now. It is not easy anyway to be a guru nowadays. So even if some Guru Maharaj maybe is maybe some Guru Maharaj is not a pure devotee, but anyway, the disciple should see the Guru Maharaj as a pure devotee. This is very important in order to give power to the spiritual master in this way. If we have faith in our spiritual master, then this gives to the spiritual master power, and he will maybe really become a pure devotee if we believe he is. This will help him to become really a pure devotee. We should anyway, the devotees, believe, have faith in each other. We should see in us, in everybody else, which we should see in each other pure devotees. Of course, we must not how to say, expect the others to be pure devotees. We should not expect anything, but just we must have faith in each other in order to give power and energy to each other. The devotees. Yes, this is actually very important. So in this way, even if, for example, the Guru Maharaj maybe even the Guru Maharaj will say, "Oh, I am not a pure devotee. I am not a pure devotee. You must not think I'm a pure devotee." It can be that the Guru Maharaj says this, for example, yes, to his disciples. Yes, of course, he can say this. Maybe even this is absolutely true. Yes, he's also a human being. This is normal. But the disciple should still have faith in the spiritual master. Should think, yes, maybe he's at the moment, maybe he's not a pure devotee. I cannot judge if he's a pure devotee or not, but I'm sure he will become a pure devotee. This is clear. He's surely my Guru Maharaj. He's surely on the right way. And if he is not a pure devotee now, I cannot even judge if he is a pure devotee or not. I cannot judge this anyway. But even if he is not, this is not a problem. He will surely become a pure devotee. He is surely on the right way. We should always have faith in our spiritual master and also in each other. We should have faith also in the other devotees around, in the other devotees we know. Just to give energy and power to each other, to give, how to say, to help each other actually. Yes. Just I want us to read from the Charitamrita. Just a moment. Yes, this Charitamrita from Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The translation in English from His Divine Grace Bhaichana Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. Translation and commentaries purports are from His Divine Grace Bhaichana Vrnda Śrīla Bhaktisiddhānta Swami Prabhupāda. So, yes. Okay, the next, let's see what. I don't know if I have written this, if I have read this before, I'm not sure. I will, yes. See. This verse, this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mata Lila 8, 102. Kore kare Radha ke Nila gopi gane Radhara Anyapeksha Premera Naspura. Translation. During the Ras dance, Sri Krishna did not exchange loving affairs with Srimati Radharani due to the presence of the other gopis, because of the dependence of the others. The dependence of the others. Oh, I think in English one says dependence on, not dependence of. Okay. The intensity of love between Radha and Krishna was not manifested. Therefore, he stole her away. Purport: out of fear of the other gopis. Lord Sri Krishna took Srimati Radharani to a secluded place. In this regard, the verse Kam Sharir Abhi, verse 106 in this chapter, will be quoted from the Gita Govinda of Jahnava Goswami. The next one. Radha lagi gopira yadi sashatkaritya tabe jani radaya Krishna ragadanuraga. If Lord Krishna rejected the company of the other gopis for Srimati Radharani, we can understand that Lord Sri Krishna has intense affection for Srimati Radhika. Okay, I will continue to read these verses further the next time. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Lada Daina. Prahlada Lada Daina. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Hiranyakashipu Vaksha. Shilatankalayo. Shilatankalayo. Iton Rishimo Paraton Rishimo. Iton Rishimo Paraton Rishimo. Yato Yato Yamitaton Rishimo. Yato Yato Yamitaton Rishimo. Bahir Nishiho Hridayen Rishiho. Bahir Nishiho Hridayen Rishiho. Nrisimhamadin Saranyam Prapade. Nrisimhamadin Saranyam Prapade. Tavakara Kamalavara Naka Apudashringa Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanobringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jayagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jayagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Shri Nishima Janri Simha Jaya Janri Simha Dev Prakladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Nishima Janri Simha Jaya Janri Simha Dev Prakladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Nishima Janri Simha Jaya Janri Simha Dev Prakladesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Simha Janri Simha Jaya Janri Simha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bringa Nrisimhade Jaya Nrisimhade Jaya Nrisimhade Jaya Nrisimhade Jaya Prahlad Nrisimha Prahlad Nrisimha Prahlad Nrisimha Jaya Prahlad Nrisimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrisimha Lakshmi Nrisimha Lakshmi Nrisimha Jaya Lakshmi Nrisimha Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Sri Sri Gauranitai Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Gopinatha Radha Govinda Shri Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Shyama Radha Gopinatha Shri Radha Jaya Radha Gokulananda Jaya Gopinath Radha Madhava Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radha Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Śrīla Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Śrīla Śrīla Prabhupāda. Prabhupāda Jaya, Prabhupāda Jaya, Prabhupāda, Śrīla Prabhupāda. Sorry, I forgot to sing also, to try to sing also the Jarada Madhava. Jarada Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihara, Jarada Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihara, Jaya Gopi Jahnava, Jaya Girivardhara, Jaya Gopi Jahnava, Jaya Girivardhara, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Braja Janaranjana, Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachara, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now I would like also to repeat again that if I try to say something on Vedic poetry or Vedic literature or comments on Vedic poetry and Vedic literature, you must know I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm not qualified on such topics. I'm actually a scientist, a chemist, so I'm not qualified on such topics like Vedic literature and Vedic poetry and comments on Vedic literature. And if I try to say something, I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I am just trying to understand these things. And of course, one have to try to understand the Vedic poetry and Vedic literature under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of teachers, Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus, all of you who are devotees, Vaishnavas in Raganuga Bhakti, and all of you who are Vaishnavas in Rupanuga Bhakti. You are all my gurus. Dandavat Pranam. Vancha Kapatirupaschaya Kripastu Bevaja Patitnam Pavanebu Vishnavebhu Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your attention.